Yo, so what's good guys? Hope you all doing good. Blakethayungin here, and in this video I wanted to share how I made the beat to Kenyan rap by Buruklyn Boyz. In this video I will be showing you everything from the melody to the drums, mixing and mastering, and then to the arrangement of the beat. So stay tuned to the end, as I'll also be giving you tips and tricks that I use when making such kinds of beat. And without further ado, let's get straight into FL Studio. I have the project open and you can see this is how the project looks like, and I'm going to be breaking down everything from the beginning. The first thing I started with when making the beat was this sampled chop. I don't really remember where I found it, but I'll let you hear. I did a little bit of processing on it, so I'll first let you hear what it sounds like. Yeah, so that's how it sounds like. I was going for a spacey feel, like something floaty. Yeah, some floaty feel. That's what I came up with. I first started with this gross beat to give it that cutting effect, followed it up with an EQ just to remove the high ends. I removed the high ends from the melody. Then after consolidating it, I took it, put in some portal, and I used the spaceship preset, and as I told you, I was going for a spacey feel. That was what I got. So I removed these frequencies because my idea with the sampled melody was I wanted it in the middle, balancing the frequencies. And so I removed the high end because I was going to fill it with a different instrument. Then I also removed the low end because I have 808s, I have the bass, I have the low piano I was going to fill in with. Then the next thing I did was I added this bass. It was one shot. So this was what I used. I used the one shot bass from Kavi, and the first thing I did was process it. Producers understand this. I wanted it to play only when the key is activated and stop when the key stops. So I took down the delay, took down the attack, I maxed out the hold, took down decay, suspension, and the release button. Then came back here. So you can see it only plays when I play the key. Yeah. So then I went ahead and put in this pattern. It's just a simple bass pattern with a slide note here. This is how it sounds like. Yeah, it was a simple bass in. So yeah, that was the next thing I did. Then after that, the two now sound like this. So that's how it sounds like. And then after that, so I had already filled down the low frequencies, but I felt like I needed something lowish, but it still added a little bit of color. And that was when, for the next thing I went was this stage grand. This one, I think I took this preset from Flex. Yeah, it was a stage grand. I just used stage grand from Flex, not too much. So this was the pattern I used for the stage grand. It was just a simple pattern. I put the low notes here, since I told you I wanted that low feel, but again I wanted some color, so I put the low notes and the high notes. And for the high notes, I didn't want too much color, so I was putting them only at the half a bar. Yeah, so this was how the pattern sounds like. Yeah, just a low piano. Yeah, simple pattern. Yeah, you already know. If you hear that, you can already feel the beat. Yeah, that was the backbone of the beat, I think. So you can already hear the beat when you hear that pattern only. So after that, this was how the melody sounds like up to that point. Yeah, Yeah, then the next thing I did was I wanted a little bit of a counter melody that was ethereal. So I went ahead and took this flute from Expand 2, and I used this flute from Agony Expand Bank Volume 10. I used flute number 5. So yeah, this is how the flute sounds like. Yeah, it was just a simple flute, and this was the pattern I went for. Yeah, I normally draw this using my MIDI keyboard. Then I come inside later just to make sure everything is on time and stuff. I just normally record it on a random moment. So yeah, this is how the flute sounds like. Yeah, just a simple pattern. Yeah. Yeah, so that was the flute pattern, and I was only putting it on random places, as you can see in the project. I put it here, I put it here, I put it here, then here full, then here, just to accentuate. And up to that, this is how it sounded like. This was how the melody was now sounding like. The next instrument I went ahead to add was this organ. It was just a simple organ. I needed it to have that Kenyan vibe. You know, if you've listened to most of the gengeton beats from Kenya, we have that thing that beats at the half. Most of the time, most producers use either a Rod, an electric piano, or just a simple piano that does tan. Yeah, you'll just get it once you hear it. So that was what I went for. I just took this organ plugin. I think it's Arturia. Then this was the pattern I played in, again using my MIDI keyboard. You can feel it, just that church vibe with everything intact. This was the full melody. Yeah, so that was how the melody was sounding up to that point. And one tip I would like to give you all producers is if you want a catchy melody or a catchy beat, make sure that you have good, first of all, you have good drum you have good selection. Let me not specify it, let me just say selection. Make sure you have good selection. Then the next thing is every instrument or drum you select should complement the other. It should be like a question and answer sequence, if you get me. So those were all the instruments I used. And now this was how I processed them. These were the effects I put in. I put in a gross beat just to cut the normal drill bounce. If you listen to drill, you have these spaces. So just to give those spaces, then next thing I put was this EQ, just to get rid of the high ends. Then after that, the next drum kit was this stage grind, this piano. This was what I put on the master. An EQ just to level it out. I think I used a preset which was Piano Soft Mix. It comes with Pro Q4. Then after the EQ, the next thing I did was add a reverb with 51% on the mix. Then the decay, I wanted a slow decay, so I put it at 1.18. Yeah, that was all I changed on there. Then for the flute, first thing I did was put a reverb because I wanted it spacey. I told you I was going for a spacey vibe for the melody, so I put a reverb, 20% mix. The decay was a little bit high, so just to give that feeling after the flute has played, just to slowly fade away. So again, for the flute, I didn't want it to occupy a lot of the spaces, so I took away all of the low end and the high end and a little bit of the mid. Then for the last thing was this organ. I didn't put it anything because the organ was just sounding fire by itself. I can just touch it for you so that you hear it. Was just sounding fire by itself. I think I'll leave a link to the plugin in the description. You can see just natural. It sounds fire. It just sounds fire. I normally route all of my melodies to my master channel for the melody now. So I added a tape. Normally I boost up the depth a little bit. Yeah. Then the next thing I did was add an EQ. Boosted up the high a little bit. Yeah, this range here. That was all for the melody. Now let's go to the drums. For the drums, I really went ahead to keep it simple. Tip for producers: when you're making your drums, don't overcomplicate it. Leave room for the artist to do their own thing, because a beat is like, let me say, 40 or 50% of the original, of the final product. So leave a little bit of room for this, for the artist to fill in maybe the ad libs, the melodies, or the rap itself. So for the drums, I really went simple. I first went ahead and started with this kick. I used the cactus kick. This is how the kick pattern sounds like. Yeah, and for the kick, all I did was just sidechain it to the 808, nothing more, nothing less. Then the next thing I did was add an 808. I really love the Spins 808, but what made it different is, like, when people hear drill beats, normally they think of the long subby 808s that people normally use, but for me, I didn't want that long sub. So what I did was I got a little bit of a long Spins 808. This one, I got it from Seraphim. You see, it's a little bit long and it hits hard. Yeah, and it has that low end. So I went ahead and put in this pattern for the 808. The pattern keeps on changing. You can listen to the other one. Yeah, then again I put in two 808s. This was the second 808. I used now a short 808 for the verse or the switch up. So I used a short 808 from KD Pro. Normally this is a sad 808. So, but it's just a normal spins. You can feel the difference. There are two different 808s. So, and this was the pattern for the third one. It was just to release the energy. And that's why I used a short 808. I just wanted to release the energy. And this was the short 808 pattern. Yeah, and I again changed here in the end. Yeah, you can see towards the end I added a fill, not a fill, just a it's like a crash. It's like the 808s are crashing here. And for your 808s, remember to cut and have control of over your 808s whenever you're making a beat. So that was the 808 pattern. Then the next thing I did, drill. I went ahead and put in just the normal drill hi-hat pattern, and this was what it sounds like. Yeah, just had the normal drill bounce. Then the next thing I went ahead and added was a snare. I again wanted it to feel a little bit different, so I never used the generic drill snares that you see people using. So I went ahead and used a trap snare instead, just to give it a different feel. Yeah, if you feel what I mean. So this was how the pattern sounds like. Yeah. You can see nothing crazy, just the normal drill bounce. So that was it. Then the next thing I had was, when I went ahead and did, was add this percussion. You can feel it, just a normal drill percussion. Then another percussion just to add the vibe. It was a rim. Let me first show you the next percussion. It was this tambo. This is how it sounds like. Yeah, just to add a little bit of addition to the back. And for all my percussion, I normally have my own preset. This was the percussion preset I used. First of all, I went ahead and put in a reverb just to differentiate it from the main drums. I just wanted it at the back. Then the second thing I went ahead and did was put an EQ, cut down all the low ends up to 200 hertz. There, 368. Then I left everything else. Then what I did next was add this delay, the normal delay. But if you want a bouncy feel, you can use the ping pong preset, the ping pong feedback. But for me, I chose normal for this case. Put the cut there and the volume. Those are the settings. You can copy them. Then I went ahead and added a pneumatic. This just moves the drums, it gives it that motion, keeps on moving. You can see how it's moving. That was the original idea, and together this was how the whole of the drums sounded like. Yeah, so those are the drums. Then there's this crash here. Yeah, just to show that the beginning. Then to show it's a different bastard thing, I used now an open hat instead of a crash, and this is how it sounds like. You can see it differentiates in between the two bars. So this is the first bar, this is another bar, but still part of the first. Yeah, then to add a little bit flair into this open hat, I used now this riser. Sounds like this. Yeah, just to change that, just to show that the bars are changing. I also used it at the beginning here, just to show that the bars are changing, or there's something to expect like this. You can feel it. Yeah, so that was all I did. Then, and for the arrangement, this was what I went for. I went for 8 bars for the intro. Then here I put a starter effect. Yeah, there's that starter effect just to catch the listener off and immediately introduce the energy to the beat. And yeah, so 8 bars for the intro, a starter effect here. Then for the chorus, again I went ahead and did another 8 bar for the chorus. Then I went ahead for the verse. I went for 4 bars. I went for 4 bars of the normal drums that came in from the chorus part, then switched it up with an 808 at the second part, like this. Yeah, then after switching it up, I wanted to release a little bit of energy, so I only kept the organ, the stage grand, but I pushed it at the back, didn't put the flute. Then let the sample just float away, take away. Left a little bit of 2 bars here for the intro to the next bar. Then I cut off the drums for this one, and this was what it sounded like. It sounded more of as a switch up. So this is how it sounded like. Yeah, and you can recognize that because that was where Embright's verse started. Yeah, so that was all I did for the beat to Kenyan rap by Buruklyn Boyz. I appreciate you for watching this far. Remember to leave a like, subscribe as more content is coming through. As you can see, I upgraded my setup and stuff, so expect more content on the way. So let's listen to the final beat. This is how it sounds like. So thank you for watching. That was all for today. I wanted to share with you how I made the beat to Kenyan rap by Buruklyn Boyz, and I hope you enjoyed the content. Please leave a like, subscribe, and share this video to a friend who think it suits them or it fits their category. And also, if you need custom beats, if you need mixing and mastering, and you also need audio recording, be sure to reach out to me. I'll leave my links in the description. Let's connect, let's work, let's bring bangers. Thank you for watching.